Hey everyone, Jeff Corwin here, and we're diving deep into the wild world of the American alligator. Out of a whole nest of alligator eggs, maybe 50 or more, only a tiny fraction, perhaps as few as 1 or 2, will survive to become full-grown adult gators. It's a tough world out there in the swamp, and these little guys face incredible challenges right from the moment they crack out of their shells. Imagine this, a tiny 8-inch-long baby alligator, fresh from the egg, already facing a world teeming with creatures that see it as a tasty snack. But these reptiles are ancient. They've been around for millions of years, perfecting their survival game. We're talking about a transformation from vulnerable prey to one of the most formidable apex predators in North America. So get ready, because we're about to embark on an amazing adventure following these incredible reptiles from their very first breath to their reign as kings and queens of the swamp. The American alligator's story is one of nature's greatest dramas, and we've got a front row seat to all the action, so let's get to it. Now let's talk about alligator mums, because they are some of the most dedicated parents in the reptile kingdom. When it's time to lay her eggs, a female alligator doesn't just dig a hole and hope for the best. She builds an incredible nest, a massive mound of mud, vegetation, sticks and leaves. As the plant material rots, it generates heat, keeping the precious eggs warm. She'll lay anywhere from 20 to 60 eggs, sometimes even more, burying them deep inside this protective fortress of her own making. What's super fascinating is that the temperature inside this nest actually helps determine if the babies will be male or female. Warmer temperatures, typically in the upper parts of the nest, tend to produce male alligators. Cooler temperatures, found in the lower sections, usually result in females. For the next 60 to 65 days, that mama gator becomes a fierce guardian. She'll stay close by, patrolling her territory, ready to defend her future offspring from any predators brave or foolish enough to come sniffing around. This maternal instinct is incredibly powerful, a driving force that ensures the continuation of these amazing reptiles. It's a testament to the strength and resilience of these ancient creatures, a true display of wild parenting at its finest. Alright, picture this. About 2 months have passed since those eggs were carefully laid. Inside each leathery shell, a tiny alligator is now fully formed and ready to meet the world. But how do they get out? Well, these little guys have a special tool just for this moment, an egg tooth, a small sharp projection on the tip of their snout. They use this to start pipping or breaking through the tough shell. Even before they break free, the hatchlings start making little yelping or chirping sounds from inside the eggs. It's like they're calling out to their mum, "We're ready." When she hears those faint chirps, she knows it's time. She carefully, gently, begins to excavate the nest. Using her powerful jaws, which can crush turtle shells, she delicately uncovers the eggs. As the hatchlings emerge, they are miniature versions of their parents, about 6 to 8 inches long. From the moment they hatch, these little alligators are alert and ready, their instincts already kicking in. The whole hatching process can take a day or two, with the mother alligator patiently assisting her brood. This is the very beginning of their epic journey, a truly magical moment in the wild. Once those little gators hatch, they're immediately thrown into a world where almost everything is bigger than them and sees them as a potential meal. It's a tough start, believe me. We're talking about predators like raccoons, large wading birds such as herons and egrets, big fish like gar, otters, snakes, and even other larger alligators. For the first year or two of their lives, the young alligators, often called a pod, will stay close to their mother. She's their bodyguard, and a very effective one at that. Her presence alone is often enough to deter many would-be predators. She'll communicate with them through soft grunts and hisses, guiding them to safe areas and warning them of danger. Environmental challenges can also take a heavy toll on young alligators. Sudden cold snaps can be lethal, as these reptiles are cold-blooded and rely on their environment to regulate their body temperature. Despite these overwhelming odds, some do make it. They learn quickly, relying on their instincts to find food, tiny insects, small fish, tadpoles, and crustaceans, and to avoid becoming food themselves. Every day is a lesson in survival, every escape a small victory. As the young alligators survive those treacherous first couple of years, often under the watchful eye of their mother, they start to grow, and grow fast. They might put on about a foot in length each year for the first few years, depending on how much food they can find and the warmth of their environment. Once they reach about 3 to 4 feet in length, their mother's protective services usually come to an end. It's time for these young juveniles to strike out on their own, to find their own territories and fend for themselves completely. Their diet also begins to change as they grow. Those tiny insects and tadpoles that sustained them as hatchlings are no longer enough. Juvenile alligators start to target slightly larger prey. They'll go after bigger fish, frogs, snakes, small turtles, and even birds or small mammals that venture too close to the water's edge. During this juvenile stage, which can last for several years, alligators are still vulnerable, but less so than when they were tiny hatchlings. They are honing the skills that will one day make them apex predators. As juvenile alligators continue to grow, they're not just getting bigger, they're getting smarter and more skilled. This is like their swamp university, where they're mastering the art of the hunt. A lot of their hunting behavior is instinctual, hardwired into their ancient brains, but they also learn from experience. They figure out the best spots to wait for prey, the times of day when certain animals are most active, and how to approach different types of meals. Patience becomes one of their greatest weapons. They can wait motionless for hours, appearing like a submerged log. Their hunting techniques are incredibly diverse and perfectly suited to their aquatic environment. For smaller prey like fish or frogs, a quick snap of their powerful jaws is all it takes. But as they get bigger, they start to employ more sophisticated strategies. The classic alligator ambush is a sight to behold, or rather not behold, until it's too late for the prey. They also use their powerful tails to their advantage. They are transforming from opportunistic feeders into calculated, strategic predators. There comes a point in an alligator's life, usually when they reach about 6 to 8 feet in length, that the tables completely turn. They are no longer just surviving, they are thriving and starting to dominate. Most of the predators that once threatened them as hatchlings or juveniles are now potential prey themselves, or at least no longer a concern. They transition from being hunted to being the hunter, a formidable presence in the swamp. At this size, their hunting prowess is fully developed. They can take down much larger animals, deer, wild pigs, large turtles, and even other smaller alligators. One of their most famous and fearsome hunting techniques is the death roll. When they catch large prey, they'll grip it firmly in their powerful jaws, drag it into the water, and then spin their bodies rapidly. With increased size and power comes the need to establish and defend a territory, especially for males during the breeding season. They are truly becoming the rulers of their stretch of swamp. Their confidence is palpable. They move through the water with an assurance that only comes from being one of the most powerful animals in the environment. Adult alligators aren't just fearsome hunters, they're also crucial ecosystem engineers, especially in the Florida Everglades. They are a keystone species. If they disappeared, the ecosystem would change dramatically. One amazing thing they do is create gator holes. These holes retain water during the dry season. They become vital oases for aquatic animals. As apex predators, they control prey populations. By preying on various animals, they prevent overpopulation. They often target weaker individuals, keeping prey populations healthy. The American alligator, as a top predator and ecosystem engineer, truly earns its title as King of the Swamp. We've journeyed alongside the American alligator, from a tiny hatchling breaking free from its shell to a dominant predator ruling the waterways. What an incredible transformation! Facing immense challenges and constant danger, they adapt remarkably. From relying on their mother's protection to mastering the hunt, they are perfectly designed for the swamp. As keystone species, they create gator holes, providing water for countless creatures. As apex predators, they maintain the balance of prey populations, ensuring the health of the swamp community. Their presence supports a rich diversity of life, making them indispensable. The alligator's journey from egg to emperor is a powerful reminder of life's tenacity and the intricate connections within nature. These ancient reptiles have survived for millions of years, adapting and thriving in a changing world. The wild world is full of wonders, and the alligator is one of its most spectacular stars. Keep exploring,